Thanks. So I'm going to try to stay out of the way of the screen. I tend to move a lot. So originally, I'll give you a little background of me. I'm a cockroach from Cleveland, Ohio. All right, so we survive. So I grew up there. Some people say I don't smile enough, so I'm going to try to smile a lot today. And I always tell them I didn't see the sun for 29 years. So that's the way it is up there. So little background with me. My first master's was in clinical mental health counseling. My second is in exercise science. My undergrad's in teaching, education. So all those experiences have really helped me, especially with the therapist part, what I'll get into with this. But really for us, one of the things we have to do with these guys, I'm working with multimillionaires every day. It's more of it's a professional relationship, right? So you got to problem solve, right? You have to talk about things all the time. And I have to sell. I always have to sell. So those are some challenges because they will go out and they will go with their guy in the off season, whoever that guy may be, and it might be off from what we're teaching them. So it's always starting back at the basics. The basics are not simple. I'm going to repeat that. The basics are not simple. At the college level, at the high school level, our basics are different though. They might be a little bit different. So I'm going to show you a little quote here. I have all these quotes all over my office, and I have them up there just to remind me of little things, right? So I take this passage, neither the prestige of your subject and the power of your instruments, nor the extent of your learnedness and the precision of your planning can substitute for the originality of your approach and the keenness of your observation. I think we might be the only gym in America last year that took a TV out of the gym and didn't add one. Okay? Why? Well, if you walk into our locker room, when they are sitting there, it's like this. When they watch film, it's like this on an iPad, right? Head down generation. So, I want everything in that room to be writing and focused on them and their body, right? So, that's one part. The other part is, you guys might do some arm farm workout on Friday. You guys do that? Anyone in here do that? Can I see a show of hands if you do that? Yeah, arm farm, right? Our guys love it. So the first year our coach said, hey, what are we doing for a gun show on Friday? And I'm like, oh, here we go. I almost cussed. All right, here we go. So I made it my own. We made it our own. And it became fun. And then it sort of evolved into this, everything was revolved around mountains. So it was like Mount Bicepius. My favorite is Mr. Miyagi's Methods of Mysterious Mass. So we would do stupid stuff, different variations, paint the floor, all that stuff, right? So it evolved into this, okay? I have a 4x4 dry erase board, okay? And every week, I do a picture for these guys, all right? They didn't start off like this, all right? They're pretty bad. But it evolved. I got Bane over there, Thanos, and I do one every week. Every week. There's a subliminal message here. What is the message? I got to erase that thing, okay? So I have to perform every week. You got to bring your best. I got to bring my best. Cool? So that's my little art exhibit. I got a whole poster. The guys loved it. I signed some. It was pretty fun at the end of the season. So, thoughts before we start and give you, I'm an open book, guys. Before we get into all the programming and stuff, whatever questions you have, we'll go over it at the end. I'll answer anything you want. My thought is, we're in a position where we're out front all the time. And I look at it as this. Are we empowering our players to lead? Because it is not about me. It's about them. When they are on the field, it's the fourth quarter and it's going down. I'm not out there. They have to be accountable to each other. Okay? Player-to-player communication, it's huge. Opportunities. So my big thing, I'll give you an opportunity that happened yesterday. Mosanu, great guy. We're doing this lunge ballistic med ball throw. So it's 2 steps. It's 2 steps. You come here, boom, boom, and throw. And then you land. Well, Mo's like, Coach, you're messing them up. And he didn't use that word, okay? You're messing them up. It's just 1 step. All right? You show them. Show them, Mo. Hey, come here, listen up, listen up. It's only 1 step. He's screwing you up. I didn't care. Thanks, Mo. Appreciate you, buddy. All right, let's go back to work. But I want that. I want that. I can make a mistake. They drop balls in games, right? It is what it is. It's all good. So my deal was off. Short-term versus long-term results. And I used this when I was in school, the difference between counseling and therapy. Counseling is 70% directed by the counselor. 30% is directed by the client. In therapy, it's the opposite, okay? So, what you find is this. In the short term, counseling works out. But therapy, okay, it might take longer, but the results usually stick, okay? It's life-changing. So, systems versus programs, same thing there. My big thing is to teach guys about a system that can evolve. If I have a program, it's finite. A system is infinite. So if I can teach them basic concepts about how to set up and evolve what they're doing already, we're in a better spot. I was at the 1st Ranger Battalion, 75th Regiment, Ranger Regiment, and I had a talk. I did a board presentation that lasted probably an hour, hour and a half with those guys, and I probably did 100 when I was there, talking about systems versus programs. How do I evolve this? You know, if I get Mountain Dog Warrior 2.0 after 8 weeks, where do I go from there? So educate them. This is a big one. And especially at this place I'm in right now, they're elite sportsmen or women. That does not mean they're elite weightlifters. Some of these guys, okay, they have hard angles, right? Long femurs, all right? So you got to find out what works best for them and try to manipulate it and make it work. But I always tell them, you are a pro, I'm a pro. Listen to my stuff, man. I will lead you in the right direction. I'll tell you why, okay? But yeah, I think sometimes we get misconstrued. Oh, he's an elite athlete. He knows what he's doing. Yeah, under load, it looks like crap, man. And I'll tell him, dude, that looks like, that's what I do. Direct. They got to work on it. Does your conditioning on a given day align with your objectives in the gym? I have limited time. I do. So I got to get them in shape pretty fast, okay? And I have to sprint them, okay? I have to sprint them. I have to sprint them right away. I had to get their limb velocities up for soft tissue, okay? Because sprinting is training, right? I consider it weight training. So I'll get back into that when we go. But I think sometimes if I do, like, let's say I run first and I do 300-yard shuttles and I'm doing a bunch of them. And then I come in the gym and I'm going to say, yeah, it's max effort 5s today, man. Go get it. It contradicts, you know, it's not going to be all there. Same if I flipped it, right? Now I did that max 5s. And then I go 300-yard shuttles. Okay? Doesn't add up. It's not the same thing. You're beating a dead dog. Okay? So I'll explain that as we go. I had a Jeff Mad Dog Madden, hello. I forgot to say that at the beginning. Sorry. I know you're watching. A guy I worked with, Angel Spazoff. Okay? Angel's a great guy. God rest his soul. He passed away last year. But Angel was pretty funny. He was a genius. And Angel, one day, we saw something funky going on in the gym. And Angel was all about like 5'5", big boiler. Great dude, yeah. Long arms, made for pulling from the floor, you know. Comes up to me. Coach. Yes, coach. Borscht. Okay, coach, what, you know, borscht. Do you know what borscht is? I said, coach, I do not know what borscht is. Coach, borscht is stew. And stew, you just put things in. You could put all sorts of crap in borscht. This, borscht. Don't do borscht. I had one more up here. A couple of my staff are here today, Brandon Ireland and Autumn Lockwood, okay? And I talked to her the other day about modeling. For us on Wednesday, it is a low CNS, okay, higher volume day, but I want that day to be the less taxing and I want the environment to be comfortable. So on a Tuesday or Thursday, I might be here. What's up, bro? How you doing? You know, yeah, let's have a great one. On Wednesday, I'm sort of like this. What's up, man? How you doing, brother? Good to see you. Okay, I want to elicit a response through my own modeling. I can use it with music, okay? That's sort of my goal. And she was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so I want to model that. If we can model what we want for that day, okay, that'd be great. I know, you know, in some scenarios, these guys, younger guys, they need to know how to work every day. For us, yeah, they're going to work every day, okay, or they'll be gone. We don't have you for 4 years. Oh, you don't want to work? Okay, see ya. Right? So the demands are different. They're still working, but the demands are different, okay? Sport specificity. This is one I can rant on. Do you have working knowledge of demands and daily consults with position coaches? Do your objectives align with the position coach? When do you integrate these methods, taper, etc.? If you aren't doing that, you're not doing sport-specific training, okay? I go on the internet and I see borscht, okay? And I think there's a misconception with that, right? So then I got to clean up some stuff. And I'm not going to get specific, but it can be a challenge, all right? So if I go to my offensive line coach and I talk to him, we had a guy who had an issue hopping out of his stance. So he was leaving the ground, and then he's here, and then he get pulled right away. So we integrated a special exercise over the off season and in season to help them with that. I put them on a belt squat with a band, anchored them down, I pommeled with them, I wrestled with them, head control, neck control, all that stuff, okay? Soon after that, okay, it started to help, okay? We could measure it, we could see it. It was happening on the field. Yeah, hold on. The other one, coach came up to me and he said, Julio Jones does a great job, okay? When he comes out of a cut, he can go here and here really good. Like, it's amazing. They watch him, that single leg stability, bah, bah, right? Some of our guys don't do that. How could we integrate that? Could we do that with every one of our positions? So, on a Tuesday, on a Thursday, we started integrating a lateral bound, okay? Just getting them used to working off the whole surface area of the foot, okay? So we're working edges. Then, the following week, we start transitioning, okay, to where they hockey stop, playing off that edge, and transfer it, okay? And I'm talking a 20-yard distance. Then we start shortening the distance, maybe a little shorter, and then they're ready for ball. The coach comes to me, and he goes, I don't know what you guys did, but they're all doing it. Yeah, we're good. So that is an example for me of a transferable quality that we were able to do with that group on the field. Cool? All right. So when we talk about methods, there's a relationship from general physical preparation, special physical preparation, and sports-specific prep. I'm going to get into that too here in a little bit. Boom. This is something I came up with. I call it the functional intensity scale. Okay, and it's based off Polar. Okay, we have Polar Team Pro. It acts as what do you call it? Catapult type system, right? Tracking, and it tracks heart rate as well. Okay, so the player load is based off heart rate, accelerations, things like that. So what I started looking at was, okay, through every segment, especially this time of year, you have spikes in heart rate the first day of every transition. So in the NFL, we have phase 1, we have phase 2, and we have phase 3. Okay? So as you go, individual activity, positional GPP or SPP, that's the phase they're in right now with me. Okay? It's 2 hours with me on the grass and in the gym. Not a lot of time, okay? Next week, we are going to see a spike in heart rate, right? Makes sense. The coaches are coming on the field. It's more intensive with sport-specific things, okay? Practice, game-like scenarios, and then competition game. There's a reason why the Russians had a training max and a competitive max, right? It's the same thing here. The most taxing thing they do is on Sunday. That is max effort. Now, this is going to be a huge thing for you guys, like you don't know. Things that affect practice intensity. This is common sense, right? So heat. Heat is depleting. Humidity is depleting. It's depleting. Duration of practice. Okay? Tempo of practice, okay? Some practices are run different, okay? Contact. I would say contact, when you put a helmet on and you put the pads on, it's just intensity goes way up. And we see it with heart rate. Accumulation of practice types, okay? So if it's a lighter practice, how are we waiving that volume, that intensity? And then crowd. Great example of this. We had Friday night lights. We used to do this thing where we would go to a local high school and we would practice for the night there. Pretty cool. Then we decided, I think it was 2 years ago, we're gonna go and we're gonna do it at our place at Friday at 5 o'clock. Okay. Everyone here live in Atlanta? Right? So they built this thing up where, like, yeah, it's gonna be awesome. We're gonna have a huge crowd. And then when the guys were walking outside, they were like this, like crickets. It was nothing. Juice went down for practice because there was a big buildup for the crowd, the energy, all this stuff. And then it was flat. We had a bad practice, okay? So that's an example. Obviously a game, okay? There's a reason why they have ammonia and they're painting their face on Sunday, right? It's not for practice. So with that, to tie all that in, why do I bring those things up? Because it's all stress. I need to know what they're going through on the field, okay? If they're putting 4 to 6 times their body weight when they're sprinting, okay? As soon as you throw a ball out there, it's going to be competitive. Intensity is going to go up. It's what they do. So I have to know that. I have to realize that. So day one, field work. We have a dynamic warm-up. We have tempo runs. We have varied distances for those guys. We're going to clean up technical flaws. The rationale, okay, it's to prepare the body for the week's high stress. So if I front-loaded these guys, unfortunately, we go Monday through Thursday, okay? So something's got to give. You get a 3-day break. I don't know what they're doing over the weekend. Some of these guys fly all over the place. Some come back. I don't know how they're living. So I got to keep Monday as a flush. If you want to say a flush, I got to keep it low, okay? Soft tissue. If they were on a plane and they come back and they come in the gym, okay, and I load them with a bar, what's happening? Well, I don't know what's happening, but I can tell you it's probably not going to be good, right? So we do a lot of postural restoration type things on that day, okay? We call them PCAs. That's pre-competitive, post-competitive activities. It's everything Scott talked about, your local system musculature, anything that has to do with posture, we're cleaning up on that day. And then obviously lifestyle considerations. So we'll do a Olympic variation, okay? Hang, snatch, pull, okay? I don't have a lot of these guys catch just because, all right? Now, early off season I do. If they're with me, we'll catch, we'll do all sorts of things. But we just get the pull. Why do I like it? If I go below the knee, I'm coupling hamstring and glute together, okay? So I'm learning how to do something explosive again. I'm waking everything up. I am married to squat. I am not married to the bench, okay? So some of our skill guys, coach, I feel, like I need to have stability here. Awesome, man. We got you. All right, so we'll do big effort, sub-maximal effort. In these phases right now, we're doing eccentric work, sub-max eccentric work, and then we build into max effort work or near max effort work. Ancillary or assistance lifts. Obviously, yeah, we're attacking weaknesses. A lot of guys that come to us, just like you, they focus anterior, so we got to clean them up on the backside. And that's pretty much it for the first day. Day 2, field work, okay? We do a huge dynamic warm-up, all right? Our warm-up lasts 30 minutes, okay? I love the people that say, hey man, when a lion is behind you, do you warm up? Yeah, okay. You got hormonal things going on there, okay? These guys are doing it consciously. You need to warm them up. Good. Oh, sorry, I gotta move this way. Med ball ballistics, all right? We'll do that at the beginning. Triple extension, intention. Biggest thing for our guys when they do this is intention. If they don't do them with intention, then we're gonna stop doing them, okay? And they know I take that very serious, okay? We will do COD, high intense COD and accelerations. We work in waves. So I'll have them all line across the field. Our bigs, some of our mids will go 10 yards. Our skill will go 20. All right? So my ears are humming at the end because I'm blowing the whistle. Boom, boom, boom. When they get outside and they start competing, they should be ready for that, okay? So a little different. I don't organize movement, okay, we don't do a linear day and a change of direction day. We have change of direction in everything we do. It's the intensity of it, okay? Weights, all right. So we're gonna do a dynamic effort squat variation. Compensatory acceleration training, accommodating resistance. We'll do complex training, a lot of jumps, deadlift variations. It's submaximal, a good thing for us, all right? I want the movement. We'll pull conventional, we'll pull sumo, okay? I want them to learn how to hinge, sink, and feel it in their post chain. I have them go double overhand. Why? Because I want them to handle what they can handle, okay? Grip is a great indicator of that. We do a single leg Bulgarian split squat, okay? We front load all our ancillary work. So all your Nordics, okay? We started doing something called Copenhagen adductor exercises, okay? TKEs, all that stuff is front loaded. And why is that? Well, if I don't, I know they have to go to a meeting. They go in a meeting. I don't want the thing they just did to be overactive. So we always end with something standing. Okay, so I have to isolate, but movement athletes, I'm gonna front load them on that side, okay? On this day, we limit time under tension. I don't want them really sore, okay? Because it's a long week. I don't want them sore. I want them focused, okay? Now, they're going to get some residual pain. That's part of training, especially if they've been training like crap, right? So it's going to happen, but I want to limit that. Day 3, okay? This is our Wednesday. So it's aerobic by nature. We have extended dynamic warm-up. We do something called multi-directional tempo runs. We just started integrating them. It's pattern running, really working on, you know, the mechanics of your foot when you're cutting specific to your position, okay? Once again, extended warm-up on this. Weights, it's stability, repetitive effort, okay? I don't feel comfortable with them pushing on Monday with a barbell and then coming in 48 hours and doing it again, okay? So we do a ton of back work, repetitive effort, stability work. We usually sequence pulling movements or retractions prior to the pushing movement. Why is that? Well, over the course, if I started lifting when I was 14, right, and you know, on an upper body day, I go in and I do bench press. And I do that for 8 years. Over time, okay, I'm gonna be here, but also my nervous system is firing most optimally when I'm doing those pushes. So I'm gonna switch it, okay? So I wanna draw back and do that. And then it helps them, it cues them when they do pushing. They sit back nice. They sit back tight, all right? Day 4, this is where we blow it out, okay? Also the message, underlying message is, you gotta finish, okay? So this is a tough day. Now we're getting time under tension. With our skill, we're doing a dynamic warm-up, extensive, CODs incorporated. Once again, I said it before, for us, maximal sprinting or build-ups, okay? That is strength training for me, okay? I give them enough time, I wave them, and we go. Our bigs, they're gonna do a med ball warm-up, we'll do ballistics, then we'll come in and we are going to squat big, okay? We are gonna squat heavy. Then we do some ALAC capacity. we're going to do prowlers for 10 yards. We'll get in groups of 4 and 5. We're going to push the hell out of that thing. Then the next guy goes. And we just keep going. All right? They suck, but it's necessary. What does it mimic? It mimics a drive. Okay? It's about 30 seconds, 40 seconds. Depends on your hurry up, whatever. Okay? Weights. Here we go. We're going to squat heavy or do submax eccentric or skill to shock training. Depth jumps. All right? Then it's a bigger single leg emphasis. Our ancillary, okay? This is higher time under tension. I say, hey man, you got 3 days off, you better sell out. Give it to me. You gotta give it to me today, all right? So, like, everything's about speed on Tuesday, but now we need to go heavy, heavier, and get after it. Good? All right, so in season, we do questionnaires, all right? Subjective information collected. I do it face-to-face. We all do it face-to-face, okay? Affect will tell you a lot more about how a person's feeling than how they answer. So if I'm looking at you, you might say you feel great. I'm the strength coach. You don't want to come off like softy, right? So you might guard that. But I can look at you and I can tell. Your body's going to tell me more about how you're feeling than what you're saying, okay? So we do it face-to-face. And I want to be really engaged with that person. I want to be really engaged. Individual pre-competitive activities. We have a list of, we take in inventories of certain things that fit in our paradigm and we plug them. Okay, so we might have various different releases, implements, and then we do activation with it, okay? And it's all in a big inventory so I can keep it fresh with guys. Once we master something, then we move on, all right? It's constant communication with trainers. I am in the trainer's room every day, maybe 8 times, okay? I'm constantly communicating with them, with all the trainers. They're doing questionnaires too. I need to take that info, okay, and get after it. Planned periods of deloads and reloads. We squat heavy in season. I'm going to say that again. We squat heavy in season, but we waive it. That doesn't mean we squat every week heavy or do max effort work. We call it charging the battery, okay? We do the same with upper, okay? I'll have these guys use 2 board, 3 board, and 4 board. I like those different heights because I can get records on them and it'll show improvement, okay? So, and obviously it takes stress off the shoulders, okay? But it also allows for teamwork. We also have blocks, okay? But I really want them to use the board on that day. Our training partners for our guys is a huge thing. It's a huge thing. I tell them, you got to be accountable to each other. If you're not accountable to each other, if a guy's slacking, it doesn't matter what I say, like that's what's going to develop on the field. It's the same at this level. You guys, your guys need to be accountable, our guys need to be accountable to each other. Okay, it's not just me iron fisting. And you have to have ability to adjust. We have different types of bars, okay? I'm going to figure it out. If you want to squat, if you have pain though when you do it in your shoulder, we'll figure a way for you to do that. It might be a giant camber bar, it might be a safety squat bar, it might be a buffalo bar or an ox bar, okay? For us, we have mandatory groups, okay? So, Sunday's max effort. That's what they do. It's all out, okay? Even if you didn't play a lot, you're still up, you're on your feet, you got a crowd of 60, 65,000, 70,000 screaming, you're up, you're into it, okay? You're still gonna be a little bit ragged, okay? You're gonna be tired. So, I give them optional bonus workouts. And it all works with our system, okay? Some guys will come to me, hey, can I switch this? I wouldn't do that today, man. I wouldn't do it. Why don't you do bonus workout 1 on Monday? If you're not going to, and it'll complement what we're doing so it's not adding undue stress for Wednesday, okay? Why do I like it? Why do I like that? Well, in lifting, we say 48, 72 hours between intense bouts of exercise, right? So the most intense thing they do is on Sunday, okay? So we couple it there, have that set up. It's different. Some guys have options, but now, at least with our guys, team-wide, I know where they're at in their recovery a little bit more. Our main lift volume in season's lower, our intensity's waived. We're never gonna charge the battery on both upper and lower, okay? But, yeah, it's pretty good. At the end of the day, train like a madman. And you guys know who that is? Beast. Russian bear, right? Good. Okay. Questions? Yes, sir.
Hey, Coach, going back to your questionnaire,
Uh-huh.
how do you pick who you give those to, or is it just everybody on the team?
Yeah, so he asked about questionnaires, how do we pick and choose who gets those, right? Or the people that select. It just depends on the personality who works with you most. So it might be, I might have a better relationship with a guy, right? We're gonna take the guys normally. Our sample size is gonna be, it might not be the whole team, but it might be, the guys who are playing the most. So yeah, it's just personalities. Anything else?
Coach,
Yes, sir.
other than that, using the board, yes, to take pressure off the shoulders, but
Yep.
also to foster an atmosphere of teamwork
Yep.
and multiple responsibilities. Any other drills or methods or things like that come to your mind that you use in practice or things?
Yeah. We did that. So we asked, talking about teamwork, how do we incorporate that in other drills or things that we do? I'm serious about the training partner thing. That's real big for us. We train bigs and skills, and sometimes I feel there's a disconnect there, but our head ball coach is real big on, he's real big on that connection. So we do a ton of team building stuff. We've worked with a group called APG for years, and they're really good. They're a bunch of former Navy SEALs, okay? And it's all about teamwork, that type of thing. So team building, how to make decisions under stress, duress, all that stuff. But the big thing is player-to-player communication, right? They have to be comfortable with, I think the teamwork thing's good and the bonding's good, but they have to be comfortable with confronting. And guys aren't comfortable with confronting all the time, okay? You gotta have alphas. If you can develop alphas, that's great, but the better you get to know someone and connect with them, I think you don't have to be an idiot about it, right? You don't have to be a hard ass about it, okay? But you can definitely, you can say, hey man, that wasn't the standard. That's not our standard here, right? So, did that answer your question? Good. Anything else? Yes, sir.
You guys, you say you squat heavy in season.
Yep.
Just from an intensity standpoint, what roughly would you say you're
I'd say 80 to 90% for singles or doubles. I'm well under range, and it's the volumes in check, okay? He asked at what intensities, okay, do we squat in season? So 80, 90% singles, doubles, and obviously we waive it. We do volume before that. I box squat, I let some guys free squat. I like the box squat in season, it controls depth, but also it's less stressful. We give them option in the off season, and there are certain guys I make adjustments for, but I like it that it doesn't require as much energy when you come up sometimes, right? So, yes, sir.
So I imagine you probably get a wide range of guys coming in as far as training stats when they get to the league.
Yeah.
How do you account for that a little bit?
You assume they haven't done anything. So he asked me, how do you account for guys that are coming in that might be at different training levels? We have to keep it consistent, and we got to add wrinkles, but our warm-up is no joke. Like, I guarantee, like some of these guys, look, if you're out there in the private sector, right, I got to keep you coming back. For me, it's go time, you know, so it's moving, it's clipping. Yeah.
At the beginning, you kind of touched on how some of the players will hire an outside coach
Sure.
or trainer.
Sure.
Do you have like a strategy on how you know, maybe create relationships with those guys or steer them to certain people you trust?
I embrace them. So he asked about personal trainers some of our guys work with, and how we can sort of merge that relationship, right? I'll meet with them. I'll meet with anyone. I can show them what we're doing, and like open communication. Maybe some people don't want to meet with me, you know? I don't know. But, I mean, for the most part, I'm open. Like, come on in. I tell guys all the time, they want to come up here, come on up. We'll talk to them, you know, and they're not held accountable to anyone. I am. So, if I can convince them and educate them on that, it's good. You know? Jacob.
How do you incentivize players to be vulnerable with you?
Say the last part again.
How do you incentivize players to be vulnerable with you?
Formidable. Vulnerable. Whew. Okay, so how do I do that? Have them be vulnerable with me? I think part of it is connection, Jacob. I think every time I do one of those drawings, as stupid as it is, they might see a different part of me, right? I think it's communication built over time. Some of them might not feel they can be vulnerable with me or talk to me, but maybe I can direct them to someone that can help them, you know. I can be intense. You know me. Some guys, you know me better in here. I can be intense, and the standard is a standard. But when we're done, we're all human. These guys are pros. So sometimes they just need, like, I make it a point every day when the guys come in, I shake everyone's hand. Okay? And it's usually like that handshake I did with you, right? Let's do it again, man. That felt good. Right? So, I'm feeling you, man. Right? I want to get in there. I want to feel that connection. I really try to do that. And if I miss you, if we have two areas of entrance, I really try to, if I missed you, I'm going to go find you. What's up, bro? How you doing? I think it's little by little. Little by little. Anything else? That it? Good? All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.